What's up, everybody? Another review. Notice my cadence has slowed down with these things because I am focusing more on getting rid of some watches and then getting some others, but I'm coalescing into a smaller number of higher quality stuff. So I'd seen a lot from this brand. Most of it good, some of it meh. But I always wanted to kind of try one. And the one that kind of stood out to me, I saw it visually and I was like, you know what? It has a decent movement and some stuff in it. And it seems well rated. So I do like the larger styles. I mean, I'm rocking my GX1A from Liv today in the Cobalt. But it's a 42, and I wear this one a lot, but I actually find myself sometimes wearing this one a little bit more just because it's a little bit bigger. I think it looks better on my wrist. I've got long arms. I don't know. To me, that one just looks a little small, but I love it. I do wear it a lot. If this is my most commonly worn watch, this is the second. But I do like the larger watches, the 43s and 44s, of which I've got like my Victorinox, fingerprints all over it, and then I've got my Citizen ProMaster Dive. And I think this one's 200-meter water resistance. Anyway, really cool watches. So I like watches in that style. I like dive style watches just because of the dimensions. Not that I go diving. I don't know. I just like them. So I went and got this one here. So this is a Luminox. And it's the Pacific Diver. It's a 44 mil. Comes in just a basic little carrying case. It's not like it's watertight, but you know, it's a nice little case. Comes on a simple slab. And then you've got your warranty card, and instead of an owner's manual, you just scan the QR code, get it digitally. Okay. These things run, with shipping, I got it for about $600 from Amazon. The watch itself was like $5 something. So let's take off the Liv. And let's see. So this one does come with, I did open it last night so I could go ahead and size it. I got the chronograph version. We'll go through the specs in just a moment. It does come with a rubber strap, but a rubber strap that uses clasp. Now, it is stamped, so we'll go through some things, and I'm going to critique this one because while I think overall I'm going to like the watch, there's some things I think that in this price range they should have done better. And that's where I'm kind of unsure if this watch is as legit as they like to say it is, that, oh, it's a Navy SEAL watch and they partner with the Navy SEALs, and I don't know. I wanted to try it out because it looked like a pretty watch. So what have we got? This one, the specific model is the XS.3155. I paid $570.19 for it. The specs are as such. Does have sapphire glass. It is a Japanese quartz movement. I thought this was a Ronda, so okay, I guess this one's a Japanese quartz. Don't know which one it is. Maybe it'll say on there somewhere. Does have a chronograph. The bandwidth is 24 millimeters, so it's a fairly big band. Not as much options out there as the 22s and the 20s, but if you wanted to change it, you can. I actually tend to like, I think that one looks kind of cool, Luminox, red. The case thickness, it says 12 millimeters. It's 44 mils across. It is 316L stainless steel. It is rocking 200-meter water resistance. It does have a screw-down crown, but not screw-down on the buttons. So that would be one distinction. You know, this, I believe the Liv has 200-meter water resistance, and it has screw-down crowns, but not on the chronograph pushers. Now, on the Citizen, they're all screw-down. So while they all might be rated for 200-meter water resistance, don't be underwater and pushing your damn buttons. I like that these ones are screw down, although when you want to use the stopwatch, it's like, oh shit, let me time this. It does slow you down because you got to sit here and quickly unscrew them before you can actually use the stopwatch. But as far as, you know, preventing water incursion into the device when you're underwater, you never have to worry about it if you keep the crowns screwed down. So this does not have that. But in any case, it is what it is. So what have we got on the dial? Oh, by the way, we're going to get better quality video coming. So I've ordered the Google Pixel 9 Pro 512 gigabyte. That's going to do a better job of when I get up close. See how this gets blurry? And that's because Apple can do good macro pictures, but it doesn't do good macro or up close video. As soon as I get, and I'm not that, I'm like 6 or 7 inches away, and it gets all blurry. I've got to be down here, so it's harder sometimes to get that detail. Yeah, we're going to fix that with the Pixel. Pixel's much better of a phone than the iPhone when it comes to that stuff. So I'll try to hold it down here so it's not all blurry. So what have we got? We've got a 3 complication dial. You have your seconds clicking by in real time. You have your hour hand and minute hand. The second hand that sweeps, that is going to be for your stopwatch. Nice tactile button. It's springy, and then you feel it firm up, and then it's like a very firm mouse click. Your reset, whoosh, right up to the top. Your complication on the bottom is going to be your minutes. That ties to the sweeping second hand. I believe it goes up to 30 minutes. So not a long timer by any means. Then you've got your day of the week, which is nice over there. And then you've got your date. Other than that, pretty straightforward. The bezel itself is what they call Carbonox. It's a carbon-infused polymer. Nothing fancy. Everybody else has metal and ceramic inserts, and I think that at this price point, it would have been nice. But I think that also this will hide scratches better. As long as you don't crack it or take a chunk out of it. It's supposed to be pretty tough stuff. But like anything, you can break it. It is unidirectional, meaning it only goes in a counterclockwise pattern. Nice positive clicks and not much walk back. Once it clicks into place, it doesn't really go back at all. I mean, you see it, look at it, but I'm turning the whole watch if I try to hold it steady. It really doesn't. You click it forward and it pretty much just drops in and stays there. So there's not much rocking back and forth. Sounds good. I don't know why people always focus on that. Like, oh, how does it sound? Is a good click? I don't know. Most of you probably aren't even diving with it, so it doesn't matter anyway. Now, with this, what I do like about it, I mean, again, on an almost, a $570 watch, I can't, the fact that it's stamped and it's not, well, this one actually might be stamped too, and this was 400 something. No, this one's milled. So here's the thing. Here's a watch that costs $150 less, and it's solar powered, and it's screw down all around here, right? And it has a quick adjust. So if you're retaining water that day and you want to give it a click, you can actually do your micro adjusts by pushing a button instead of having to get a pin or something and do that. This one doesn't have that. You do have micro adjusts here, but when you adjust this, the strap to you, you're cutting off links. You cut along those lines and you cut it to you. So you want to do it 1 or 2 at a time. Don't go, let me ballpark it, cut a bunch off, because if you cut too many, you can't put it back. You're going to have to probably spend at least $100 or whatever it costs. Or maybe if you don't get the class, maybe it's only like $50 or $60, but you're going to have to go get a new strap. So be very careful with that. And it's not like the other watches where you keep the spare links, and if you sell it, you give them the links or resize it for them because you kept them with the pins and everything. Here, it's like a once and done. So cut a link or 2 at a time. Put it on your wrist. Snap it shut. See if it's where you want. If it's not, cut another one. Don't be a muppet and cut off too many links. I do like that it has the safety on there. But to be honest, I mean, it's okay. It's all stainless. I'm sure it'll be robust enough. I'm just kind of like, for the money, I kind of feel like the strap should be a little bit better. I would like to see it milled. But I don't know. At the end of the day, it's functional. It works. And when you close it, it looks the same anyway. It's only when you open it that you see that it's milled. So that's just, it's not that there's anything wrong with the strap. It's more of when you're pushing over $500, you really should have milled. I have watches that are far cheaper, like Orients and Seikos and stuff like that, the Orients is half as much, and it's got a beautiful butterfly milled clasp. And it's under $200, right? So I feel like they could, for a watch this expensive, they could have done that, but for whatever reason, they chose not to. Now, there may be other models that Luminox has. They do have some models that are up close to 1,000 that do. That was a milled clasp on my Victorinox. And this was a $480 watch. So not much less than this. Also Swiss. This is Swiss, by the way, even though the company is American owned. All the watches are manufactured over there. Although they do use, it says Japanese quartz. I'm questioning that. I need to look that up on their website rather than in Amazon, because sometimes Amazon gets the specs wrong. But anyway, this one had milled clasps. So I would ding it for that, not because there's anything wrong with this, or it's not going to work or hold up, or I don't feel like for what it is, it's not quality. It's just, I don't know. It seems like a lot of money to have a really basic strap system like that. I feel like it could be better. Now, they do have a metal band for this. You can get a bracelet style if you want. But it sits on the wrist really nice. For me, that's perfect. I love the red strap. I love the red accents, kind of like I've got on the Victorinox. You got the red second hand, and you've got the red Swiss logo there. So it's a similar looking watch to that. This is, I think, a 42 or 40. That's a 43. This is a 44. So it's only slightly larger. But to me, it's a nice watch. I don't see any problems with it. Now, the other thing here is the lume. I don't have, and maybe this is part of the cost, I don't have a way of showing that to you here because I can't make my room pitch black. And this is not the type of watch that gets charged by a flashlight. Does nothing. However, on the minute or on the hour markers and on the hands, not all the hands, just the hour and minutes, they have tritium tubes. So if you're into guns and you buy a Glock or whatever and you get night sights, those are tritium powered, okay? So it uses a very low radioactive isotope to charge whatever the luminescent material is in there, rather than you having to charge it with a flashlight that does go really bright. If like a lume watch, if it's good lume, it'll be really bright and then it just fades. And after a couple hours, you won't be able to see it at all. This, when it is pitch black, for the next 20 or 25 years, I will be able to tell what time it is in the dark, if that matters to you. So while not as bright, you don't have to keep charging it. So I don't know, if you're in a place like Alaska or something where you get, it's nighttime for, a couple months at a time, maybe that matters to you. I'm just pointing it out. It is a feature, and that could add to the cost. When you look at replacement sights for guns, they're usually pretty cheap, but if you get the tritium ones, it does jump the price up a bunch. So maybe that's part of why this watch is expensive. Some of it may be just because of the way they market it, and it's Navy SEALs and this and that, and they just charge more for it. I don't know that I mean, it's a nice watch, but when I put it in the class of this is a $500. I mean, there may be a little bit more, but these are all in the same price range, right? They might be a little more. These are just under, these ones are just over what I paid for this. So do I feel like it's on par? I don't know. I feel like the strap system on this one's a little bit nicer. I feel like there's more machining done. There's more polishing on certain edges. There's nicer knurling on the screw down crown. I would say the libs are better built. The libs are nicer designs. They're better built. I think there's more attention to detail. The straps are nicer. Their bracelet was much nicer. Would I buy this again? Yeah, I mean, I like it. I'm probably going to wear it. I like that it should be a tough kind of utilitarian, but nice enough looking casual watch. If I'm going to a wedding or something else, I'm probably going to grab something like this or my Longines or something else that's a little blingier, a little more, probably go with the metal bracelet and, just looks a little more dress, or a leather strap. But I think as an everyday watch, it's a fine watch. I think if you like the idea of the type of lume, and you like the color combination and the thinness, and you just like the way it looks, and that's what you want to spend on a watch, I think there's Seikos and there's probably other watches in that price range that might be better in some ways, although I can't really find anything wrong with this. But I don't think, if it's between this and a Liv, I'm going Liv every time. They're also made in Switzerland, and I think they're made nicer. Their customer service, you're dealing with the company. Here I've dealt with Amazon. I don't know what their customer service is like. the Live watches to me are nicer watches for the same or only a little bit more money. But there's nothing wrong with it. I can't fault it for anything. It does have a screw down crown. I do like that the band system is quick to disconnect from the factory. So let's see what it says on the back. Sapphire crystal, AR coated, stainless steel case, 200 meter water resistance, the model number, series 3140. Doesn't say what kind of battery it takes. It just says every second counts, always visible. And that would be referring to the tritium inserts on the front. I would say, you know what? I wish that every goddamn quartz watch would put the frickin' battery type on the back. So I don't have to crack it open to find out, oh, I don't have the right battery. I got to go order it. Tell me what it is so I can make sure I got the damn battery on hand. But I do like the fact that they came with this quick disconnect. I do like the fact that it's the dive style. It's the right size. I like the complications. It's a little busy, but it's not too busy for a chronograph dive watch. It's certainly not any, this is just a regular, 3-hand dial with the date. It's not more busy than that. And I would say this one's more easy to read. In the sunlight, the leather and the yellow and some of that stuff will pop a little bit. But it's a good watch. If you trust the name and you don't want to go with the micro brand that maybe you don't know as much about, like Live, it's a good watch. I wouldn't steer away from it. Having them side by side, it's more on par with these. It's not better than the Lives. So if it was my vote and you could only have one, I'd take a look at Live. But if for whatever reason you didn't want to do that, is it a bad watch? No. It actually looks like a really nice watch. And the reviews I've seen of it are pretty damn positive. My only niggles with it are the fact that for a watch in this price range, I feel like they cheaped a little bit out on the clasp. I feel like they could have, and maybe, instead of having a plastic dial, a bezel, maybe they could have gone with your traditional, metal with at least an aluminum insert, if not ceramic. But hey, it works. I believe there's also a little tritium there in that nubbin at the 0-minute mark. So I will have to test that later when I can get in a totally dark room, because it really does have to be dark for you to see it. But there you have it, the Luminox. I've always wanted one just because I thought they looked cool. And I don't regret it. I'm not wowed by it. I'm not wowed by it. But it's a nice watch. I think if I didn't already have a bunch of really nice watches, I had just had a couple G-Shocks and some, fossils and stuff, I'd go, wow, this is a really nice, more premium watch. But I have Longines, I have Seiko, I have Lives, I have Victorinox, I have Citizen, I have Tissot. I have, I got some nicer Bulova. So I've got some nice watches, in that, for that price range, the sub 1,000. So I've got nice watches. So in that company, it feels merely average, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I wasn't expecting it to blow away my Longines or my Lives at this price point. So there you have it. That is the that is the Pacific Diver 44 mil in red. I really do like the looks of it. It is a good watch in that regard. So anyway, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.